In the year 994 AD, England's greatest city stood in peril. By the late 10th century, England had become one of the richest kingdoms in northern Europe. Its fertile farmland, wealthy monasteries, and thriving ports supported a powerful economy that reached across the North Sea. At the center of it all stood London, a growing hub of trade, symbolism, and power. But behind its prosperity, the kingdom was vulnerable. King Ethelred II ruled a realm weakened by decades of Viking raids. After a humiliating defeat at the Battle of Maldon in 991, Ethelred made a pivotal decision. Instead of fighting off the raiders, he paid them to leave. These payments, known as dangel, poured vast amount of silver into Viking hands. The silver brought temporal peace, but it also sent a dangerous message. England was wealthy, and England would pay. In 994, two of the most formidable Viking leaders of their age set their sights on England. Olaf Tryggvason, a Norwegian warlord with royal ambitions, joined forces with Svein Forkbeard, King of Denmark. Together, they assembled a fleet of 94 longships and sailed across the North Sea. Their destination, London, the richest and best defended city in the kingdom. They came seeking silver, glory, and dominance. On 8 September 994, the Viking Armada appeared on the Thames. Their longships cut through the river's channels with ease. The raiders launched a fiery assault on the city, hoping to storm its riverside walls and break its resistance. But London was no easy target. More than a century earlier, King Alfred the Great had reclaimed and fortified the city. By 994, its ancient Roman walls had been rebuilt, its gates reinforced, and a trained militia of townspeople stood ready. Merchants, craftsmen, and laborers prepared to defend their home. Some accounts suggest a new wooden London Bridge spanned the river, acting as both a crossing and a barrier to invading ships. Whether or not it played a role in this battle, one fact is clear: London did not fall. The city's defenders repelled the attacks with fierce resistance. The Viking fleet, one of the largest of its time, was forced to retreat. Denied their prize, the Viking army unleashed its fury on the surrounding countryside. Villages in Essex, Kent, Sussex, and Hampshire were burned. Fields were destroyed. Churches looted. Men, women, and children were slaughtered or captured. Mounted on stolen horses, the Viking raiders ranged deep into the provinces, taking whatever they could. London had survived, but southern England was bleeding. Unable to defeat the invaders in battle, King Ethelred turned again to silver. He offered the Viking leaders a massive payment, 16,000 pounds of silver, in exchange for peace. It was one of the largest tributes ever paid in medieval Europe. At a meeting in Andover, Olaf Tryggvason accepted baptism as a Christian, with Ethelred standing as his sponsor. Olaf pledged never to raid England again. He kept that vow. Soon after, he departed to claim the throne of Norway. Svein Forkbeard, however, gave no such promise. Years later, he would return, and his son Canute would complete what others failed to do: conquer England itself. The Thames still whispers of those battles. Axes, swords, and spears from the Viking Age have been recovered from the river's mud. Weapons lost in retreat or thrown away in defeat. A carved Norse gravestone discovered near St. Paul's Cathedral stands as proof that Vikings once lived, fought, and died within the city's walls. Here in Bermondsey, my hometown, Tooley Street carries the legacy of St. Olaf. Its name a corruption of St. Olav. Churches dedicated to him once lined the Thames, built by the Scandinavian community that settled in London in the years that followed. The Vikings came as raiders, but in time they became part of the city's fabric. The Viking wars reshaped London. They forced the city to become stronger, better defended, and more unified. They pushed it into the center of England's military, economic, and political life. And when Danish kings finally ruled the land, London rose as the capital of a North Sea empire, linking England and Scandinavia through power and trade. But none of that was certain in 994. For one long day, everything hung in the balance. Would London fall? It did not. London endured.